Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man George Page coming to you live on YouTube. Well, I saw this on Facebook, and it's just something that's just kind of disappointing me because, as you know, I grew up in the '80s and the '90s. I'm a fan of TV and movies, and this gentleman here, I watched him for many years on television, and he's a legend. He's this one Lyle Waggoner. Now, Mr. Waggoner, some of you might recognize her if you recognize him if you grew up in the good part of the '80s from such popular TV shows as The Carol Burnett Show and Wonder Woman. Now, Lyle was born in the around 1980, the 1930s, and he started acting around the 50s after he finished 2 years in the United States Army. And he did, like a lot of actors back in the day, he did radio, and then he got into television. He was in several popular TV shows, notable as Gunsmoke. And originally, he was one of the possible contestants to play Batman for the popular Batman and Robin series of the 60s. Now, he could have been Batman, but then you got to feel like now he still got to be part of kind of the DC mythos, with he gets to play the character Steve Trevor in the Wonder Woman series. Now, Steve Trevor was the love interest of Wonder Woman Diana Prince. And his character played two characters. He played Steve Trevor Sr. in the first early episode of the series, and then he played Steve Trevor Jr. when the series got into the 70s. Now, Waggoner was also on the Carol Burnett Show, as I said before. He was that good-looking, straight, funny guy. You know, he was the guy that put in when they needed the handsome, good-looking guy for certain skits. I mean, one time he did a skit with Tim Conway, where I think Tim Conway was a Nazi. He was a prisoner of war, and Tim has a kind of little puppet thing. And you know, if I told you before, if you ever watch your Carol Burnett Show, Tim Conway was good for making people break out of the character. You know, he used to love to do it to Harvey Korman. But like I said, you know, it's just last year Tim Conway passed away. And it's been like about a few years since Harvey Korman passed. So really, it's only left is Carol Burnett and Vicki Lawrence from the series. But Lyle had that good-looking, you know, everyday, you know, kind of good-looking, handsome leading role male actor looks. But you know, his career was kind of, you know, mostly television and a few movies here and there. He last worked in the early 2000s. I remember last time I saw him a few years ago, he did an episode of The Golden Girls where him and Stanley Bono, the ex-husband of Cher, were fighting to get in a relationship with the B. Arthur character, Dorothy. But, you know, it was pretty funny. And, you know, and for a guy like him, he looked like he should be, you know, you wouldn't think a guy like this good looking and be so funny, but he was. But it's just sad that he passed away. He was going through cancer, and it took his life a couple of days ago. So, you know, he's a living legend. I'll tell you, a lot of you cats, you were growing up, you know, watch the Carol Burnett Show. You know, it's on YouTube. Watch Wonder Woman. They still show it on MeTV, stuff like that. You know, it was a great show, you know, classic show, and he was a classic guy, you know. And this is one thing about him. His first wife, Sharon Kennedy, they've been together since the 1960s. And that is hard to do in Hollywood, to be together with the same woman for almost 60 years. Well, rest in peace, Mr. Waggoner. It's the man George Page. Like, subscribe. Don't like, don't subscribe. I'm out.